Too many cooks.
There's a lot of folks that were very excited about Alexander Walker, and I feel like I've said this now for a little while. I'm excited about the type of player he is. I think there's some things he can do. We really need to temper expectations.
He's a role player.
I think a lot of people think that Alexander Walker is going to come in and average 20 points and really and I think he can take a step up this year. I'm worried that he's going to be just terribly inefficient.
What's up and welcome back to Pro Pels Talk episode 78, 79. Dude, we've done 78 episodes.
You think we get to 100 this year?
Yeah, we get to 100. Yeah, for sure. It is the home of your last place in the entire league, New Orleans Pelicans.
1 in 10.
Justin Napoli alongside Ross Thibodeau. Stephen Offer will be joining us here shortly. Wanted to get a podcast out. We haven't done one in a while. And, you know, Ross and I, we've been talking about this. What is there really to talk about, right? And so everyone's the Zion Williamson thing's all like, it's whatever. Like at this point, he's gonna get back on the court. He'll be back here in the next couple of weeks. But a lot of stuff going on Pels Twitter, Ross, of some expect to win with this group, some don't expect to win with this group. I think it's fair on both sides. But the biggest thing, and we just opened up the show with that, Ross, and you nailed it a couple weeks ago. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is borderline unplayable right now.
Yeah.
What are you saying? I mean, go ahead. And then
I think it's just unfair to a certain extent. I mean, you played
what's unfair?
You played the clip.
The expectations?
The expectations were unfair, I think. And that was why, I mean, look, sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. This one I felt pretty good about, that we put him, or at least the expectations of what he was going to do coming into the season, I thought were just outrageous. I mean, there were people that really thought, he was going to become one of a top half shooting guard. That didn't seem fair. And look, is he being hindered? And we'll talk about this a little bit too. Mm-hmm. Like many other guys on our team, is he being hindered by Zion not being there, not being? Of course he is. Of course he is. He's not ready to take on what's being asked of him right now. But even with those guys, I was really worried that he was going to have a sort of a tough time. I'll tell you this: the thing that's scaring me the most is not. I didn't think he was going to shoot that great, no matter what. Right? Is he getting? I don't think he's even getting the line.
Wait, that's my stat, dude.
Oh,
take my stat.
Well, take it.
And this is what pisses me off. He's been in the line in 315 minutes this year 11 times. And this is what makes me mad, because I took a lot of heat for Lonzo Ball, and I still think Lonzo Ball is a good player. But every game, man, all those Lonzo haters were all like, "What does Lonzo not do? He does not get to the free throw line. He's a terrible free throw. He doesn't get to the free throw line. He doesn't attack the paint. Doesn't get to the rim." Nickeil Alexander-Walker isn't doing that shit either.
And I didn't realize this. This is kind of on us. Last year he didn't either. I mean, I think per 36 is 2.5 free throws a game or something. So I mean, he gets hacked once a game. It's not great. And I think a lot of people fell for the shooting last year. He had a little streak there where he shot decent from deep. I don't know. He's off to a really rough start. Look, we're 11 games in. We haven't played with Zion yet. BI has played like half the games or something. He's in a really tough spot.
He's seen an incredible dip in his 3-point percentage shooting this year. I mean, career is 33%. He's shooting at 25%, and I'll see that and raise you Najee Marshall shooting 6%. Najee Marshall shooting 6%.
Those guys combined with Trey Murphy, I would think, are probably the three players most impacted by Zion not playing.
100%.
I mean, Trey Murphy to a bajillion is the leader of that pack, but I mean, it's tough. These are youngish guys. I think Najee very much a role player, like unquestionably a role player. Those other two guys, I mean, I think they're both even role players. We talked about. I mean, we said that in the last thing. I think Nas' best use is always going to be kind of in that 6-man-ish type thing where he comes in, and he's going to be a microwave some nights. Some nights he's going to just play okay. He hustles on defense. That's all great. I mean, I kind of think Trey has some 3-and-D potential and stuff, but like the 3 part is what got us so excited. And without that magnet in the middle of the paint in Zion or even BI taking a lot of the ball handling load, it's hard. I mean, he's not getting the looks that we thought he'd get. So it's been just an absolutely nightmarish start to the season.
Listen,
on all fronts.
It's a fair assumption. But the one thing I guess I have a problem with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and it's pretty glaring to me. I don't, I love basketball. I watch it very intently, but his shot selection is terrible.
Awful.
And that just shows me that he's one, either he's extremely has low IQ, or two, he's just trying to do too much. And in basketball, everybody struggles. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Michael Jordan, all the way down to Alexander Walker. You're going to go through games where you struggle and you just don't have your shot that night. And the one thing to do to get that rhythm back, to get that confidence back, is get to the free throw line. And if you can't, 11 times in 313 minutes, Ross, I'm not a big math whiz, but that's not even he's gone stretches of multiple games not getting to the free throw. He's 4 out of his last 5, he hasn't been in the free throw line. It's not like this guy's playing 15 minutes a night. If this was Kyra Lewis, I could be like, okay, like he's getting 13 minutes. He's logged 32 minutes, 30, 33, 28, 38. He's been to the free throw line 2 times. And he's an 81% free throw shooter. At some point, someone has to be like, you got to attack more. And I know that, there's no doubt in my mind the coaching staff is telling him to attack.
Yeah.
He's just not doing it. He's just not producing. And he's been just horrible. Let's call a spade a spade. I love Nikhil. I love his work ethic. He's been really bad.
You know who's been good?
Go. Who? I was going to keep going bad.
I was going to be sarcastic. I think we'll say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Matthew Marshall. Oh my God. Yeah, we got to pull up that. Can I pull up that tweet from last night? I'm glad that
you can just say it. Yeah, no, it's been. I really hate to say it. Outside of Valanciunas, it's pretty much just been all bad.
I can't.
Is that fair? No, Herb Jones has been good. Even Graham is playing sort of what as expected. Yeah,
I'm wasting nights watching Sadaransky play. I can't watch him. I can't. It looks like he's playing in the YMCA, man. He can't move. He can't shoot. He can't create. He's just not good. And the worst part about this whole thing, Ross, is we weren't coming into the season if this Ross was fully healthy. You looked at Sato and you looked at Temple, and those were guys that were supposed to get 5 minutes a night. They're logging 25, 30. Garrett Temple started.
Garrett Temple played 36 minutes a few nights ago.
And he's going to break down soon.
Oh, yeah.
So let's stay on the disappointment. Who are you? Can't say but who are you most overall? And it could be Zion. It could be anybody on this roster. Who are you most overall 11 games in most disappointed about?
Ooh, man, that is.
Can only choose one.
I can only choose one. This is.
Before you answer this blue moon light sky citrus sweet is incredible.
It's just unbelievable, Peter. I'm really glad you just went there with that. I think I'm going to say Kyra Lewis.
Explain.
I just don't see anything to get excited about. He's not showing me anything to get excited about. And I think we said it on that same clip after the Naw thing when it's you talk about guys that are going to have chances to play. And I just hadn't. I was excited about him. I thought he shot the ball really well at Alabama, and I kind of thought that might carry. The 3-point shooting might carry over. He's a quick guy. Seemed to be really energetic. He just doesn't look
playing timid.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem ready for the NBA. And I don't
want to say he's a G League guy. He's a G League.
Yeah, I don't want to say that he's he can never be an NBA player, but he's not an NBA player right now.
Dude, can I read you this? Just right, just a general box score on ESPN.com. 4 points a game, 2 points, 2 assists, shooting 19% from deep and 34% from the field.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it. And we're going on a year and a half now. And I go back to this is the guy we were excited about. I really was. I thought there was something here, and I just haven't seen anything to get excited. Nothing, not a lot of, being a menace defensively, just kind of hounding guys. I hadn't seen a ton of that. Doesn't seem to really.
He's the one being hounded.
Yeah, he doesn't really seem to make a difference on that side. He's not breaking people down, getting in the paint, creating things with his speed and everything else. And the shooting is just abysmal. I would say, because the other stuff you can at least sort of write off, right? Like Trey Murphy, he's got 11 games in his career. He's a spot up 3 guy that's just not getting open looks. Some of the other stuff I feel like I can understand. Kyra's he's just been. I don't know. I think he needs time in the G League, a lot of time.
Yeah. And he's 20 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not
he's a bad basketball player. Okay. And some people, especially on Twitter, get this wrong. It's okay to be hard on the player. I understand he's had a year and a half in the league, but you can still grade it. You can still grade him a year and a half in the league.
Yeah. There was no G League last year, right?
And that's unfair. And there's no summer league. And he's still
he's basically a rookie
in Vegas. Yeah. In Vegas this year, he struggled in summer league. He's kind of struggled.
He did.
And now I had a pretty controversial tweet over the weekend. I don't know if you saw it, but I broke down from 2019 to 2020 all of David Griffin's transactions, draft picks, etc. And one of them,
a glass of whiskey while you did that.
We have Hornitos though. Shout out Hornitos. The 2020 draft. You ready to be sick about this one?
God, yeah, sure.
Tyrese Halliburton selected 12th. Kyrie Lewis selected 13th. Yeah. Cole Anthony selected 15th. Cole Anthony, I'm gonna run it through. You ready for this stat line?
You can give it to me. Not a big Cole Anthony guy.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to be a big Cole Anthony guy on ESPN. He's averaging 27 and 5, and he's 19.32, which is 61st in the league per.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of good. Now, just
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, in comparison to Kyra, I mean, it's
that's fair.
What. Yeah, Kyrie needs a lot of time in the G League. I think just time with the ball, get comfortable, just doing more NBA-ish things.
Speed.
Now, the flip side of that is I would say DD needs more time in the G League, but I think that's even unfair. I think he probably just needs more time at like whatever the AA equivalent of the G League is.
This isn't like Major League Baseball. There's no AA.
I'm aware.
We got the Birmingham Squadron, and that's really about it. So
yeah, I'm aware. There's not much there. Either.
I think probably my biggest
just not ready for the NBA.
I think my biggest disappointment. He had a good game yesterday. It was Jackson Hayes. Once again, another guy drafted high overall, number 8. David Griffin. This goes back to my tweet over the weekend. Could have selected DeAndre Hunter. Could have just selected DeAndre Hunter number 4. I know I'm being Monday quarterback, and you can be like, "Oh, that's so easy to do." I'm just giving you facts. At number 4.
Yeah, like it's not our job.
It's not my job. It's not my job. I'm allowed to do this.
Yeah,
this is my job. I mean, it's not even my job. This is my hobby. Okay. Yeah. So I just went back to the draft class. We selected Zion. Mm-hmm. We had the Lakers first round pick off the AD trade. So you already had BI, Lonzo, Hart, first round picks, and Zion in the bag. He traded back for number 8 and 17. Now, not at 17, that's a fine pick. Jackson Hayes at 8. It's looking really, really, really bad. Yeah. Missed on DeAndre Hunter. Missed on Tyler Hero. Missed on Cam Reddish. Someone was like, "How are you mentioning Cam Reddish?" He got drafted. He's a good player. Cam Reddish is better. He's a more effective player than Jackson Hayes right now.
Yeah.
2019 is turning out to be a disaster.
Yeah, it is.
It's a disaster.
The Jackson. Here's a worrying thing, because remember this last year. We were at the game together, opening night last year.
Never forget, against the Spurs.
Yep. Jackson Hayes fumbled around a ball. This is probably maybe late second quarter, something like that. Fumbles a ball around. I mean, he just had an atrocious first half. He couldn't catch the ball. He looked like Omer Asik out there. And then takes a little elbow jumper, air balls it. And I levitate out of my seat and screamed at Van Gundy. There's nobody in the stand. There's like 18 people there to just get him out. Just you got to get him out.
I got that on film.
And then he proceeded to kind of do that for whatever it was, 2 months, 3 months, and then he kind of played halfway decent the back half of last year. Is he a slow starter? He did have just an awful offseason.
He had a really bad offseason, and I pointed that out. Welcome, Stephen Offner, to the show. By the way, how did you just hit the door?
Did you tackle the door on your way?
I tripped over the stair. That's not safe. Okay, I'm going to call the health.
Who are you calling that properties? So,
what are we talking about?
We're talking about Nickeil Alexander-Walker and just 1 in 10, and we're gonna get to it in a second. But Jackson Hayes, is he a slow starter? And to your point, he had a brutal offseason, and he missed summer league because of this, and then he missed preseason because of the ankle sprain, and that's fair. That is a fair assumption. But he did the same thing last year, and there was no summer league again. So that is a very good point that maybe he is a slow starter. But man, this is year 3. This is a business. This is we're not good enough to have slow starts.
He got.
No, we're one and 10.
We are the slow start.
We're eyes deep in the slow start.
Jackson did get tased.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was a rough. It was a really, but like, it was a bad offseason.
Sure,
and I completely understand. I'm like, that's just terrible. I would never wish that on anybody. But he's just not there.
No, but I mean, to my point though, is I'm not because I thought about him too when you asked me the question about who am I most disappointed in. I'm going to give him just a flicker of the benefit of the doubt just because he did play pretty damn well the last 25, 30 games of last year. And
we had the, I'm going to get to you in a second. Yeah. We had the Nashville workouts and just all reports, Jackson Hayes nailing threes.
That is true.
Antonio Daniels tweeting out, Jackson Hayes on fire. I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
Is it bullshit? Because guess what? I don't know if you saw media day, but this team likes to feed a lot of bullshit to you.
No, yeah.
Who's Steven?
What is
disappointment?
Who am I most disappointed in? We really get into that. We got a list.
Yeah, we narrowed it down to one.
Only choose one.
Only choose one.
I said Kyra.
Here's a good one that people aren't gonna like. Brandon Ingram.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
And I was told this.
Why Brandon Ingram?
I
don't like that you're talking bad about him.
You want to dive into this?
I do.
The Brandon Ingram slander. I'm about to just sling across the table at you here. He's not as good as you make him out to be.
You're fucking.
We talked about this.
Insane.
When was the last time Brandon Ingram took over a game, not had JV going for 20 and 20, not had Zion going for 20 and 20, and won a basketball game? We came up with one game.
It's Utah Jazz.
The Utah Jazz. What was that last year?
Steve.
What? He's the third. He's got to be the third best player in the Big Three. I said it. I know you disagree with me, but your optimism is just infuriating sometimes with this team.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I got slandered for being negative. So I'm trying to be positive, and it's hard to be positive. I just don't think.
Where's the positive right now?
There is no positive.
Exactly.
No, you're right about that. I just think that I disagree with your Brandon Ingram taking the third best player. I think he's a very good basketball player. No, that's fine. That's fair.
He's also not playing.
That's fair.
I definitely don't think he can be the best player. I don't think he can be the best player on like a championship team.
That's fair.
No,
it's a fair assumption.
That's like that feels almost like an unarguable.
But like just fact. He's not our best player going into this. We all know who our best. We all know who the horse was.
We need another guy in between them. We need that Oreo fill-in.
That's probably fair.
That's by the way, speaking of the Oreo, we're having these little blue.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. Okay, I'm on the clock.
We're all on the clock, brother. We're on the clock. Yeah, so I mean, it's been tough. It's just been a really. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a non-basketball related question?
Sure.
It still has to do with Pelicans. What's been up with there's been a lot of reports lately about like just the in-game experience. I haven't had a chance to get started. I haven't had a chance to go yet.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm glad you asked me this question.
Yeah, you've been to a couple games. I had to skip one, whatever. What's going on? Has it gotten worse? It hasn't gotten worse, has it? Couldn't really get worse.
No. So like, no. Well, like here's the clap. Hey,
all right, go. I'm sorry.
So like, I went to the Saints Bucks Halloween game, and like we've all been to Saints games. They're just electric. They're incredible. They're game day experience, and I understand it's once a week. It's every Sunday. It's usually a primetime game with the Saints. I just feel like the Pelicans are the little brother, and that they just can never admit when they're wrong. And then they come out with this Forbes. This is incredible, and I'm not going to say the name, but it's one of our friends they come out with the Forbes article, and the whoever it is says that, well, we've tried to get the in-game music better, but the NBA is giving us some clapback on what we can play. I went to Oracle a couple years ago. They're playing E40, Tupac, Biggie, all these different type of rappers, all these different kind of like, genres of music. So one of our buddies texted me, he's like, yeah, that whole article is bullshit because our DJ gets to play whatever the hell he wants to play. So it's just another lie from the organization. It's just like, be better. Just be better. That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying, listen, what the Saints do in Champion Square and the whole thing is incredible. Okay. And it's really hard to top that. The one thing this team's done, like you've been to a million Pelicans, so have you, Hornets, Pelicans. Mm-hmm. They have a little band and they have a beer garden.
Remember the
they have the
remember like 2 days. Oh my God, don't even talk about them. Yeah. Remember like 2 years ago when they had the DJ and the trombone player.
Yeah, that was probably like 4 years ago or 5 years ago now.
That was just fantastic.
But there's just
I actually enjoyed that one a little bit.
But like there's like you're in New Orleans, you're in such a rich city environment. There's just no thought to it, man. Like that's what's just so infuriating with it. And like
super cool graphics.
So I felt like
super cool graphics.
I felt like I was about to make fun of that.
When's the last time? Hold up. When's the last time an opening video, right? Like when the team's about to come on the court, like you've been like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Like you're bumping your head, everything. Well, it's never been that.
To be fair, the atmosphere of the arena and the team also help in that.
Sure.
They can throw up a picture of a big old turd sandwich if we're 14-0 and everybody will cheer. Yeah, winning is everything.
But like y'all can agree that the in-game experience isn't like crazy.
There's nothing.
There's just nothing going on. There's no creativity. And someone would be like, well, what would you do different? That's not my job.
That's right. Yeah,
my job is to go to the game. I go to the game
so much.
I mean, I have my poor wife yawning during the game. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, that just can't happen because usually basketball games are, I mean, you're so close to the court. I mean, everyone, not just, obviously our seats, but everyone in there so close to the court, you can hear a lot of what's going on. It just is such a different experience than a football game. And for it to be that boring is just,
it's just,
they got to do a better job.
I mean,
they got to do a better job.
Like I think tomorrow they might have 4,000 fans.
What did I say? It was like last year when they said they were switching it up. It's like, if I hear Deo one more time, I'm Deo the fuck out of here.
I mean, that was like is Deo, you know? It's just, I don't know. It's just, I'm so frustrated with, and you, as a fan, if you're listening to this, you have a right to be frustrated with this franchise. Like you just do. Like no one likes losing. And the one thing that I can't get with, and I've gotten some clapback with this, is the whole lying. Like the media day, I understand, like we talked about it, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton, Bill Belichick, all those guys are really intelligent and great at hiding information, but they're not going to necessarily really lie to you. Right. And like, I don't mind if you want to like lie about an injury or the injury status of a player, that is fine. But you can't go into media day and blatantly tell me, look me in the camera and say that Zion Williamson's going to be back day one.
I think there's levels to this in the sense of they're misleading. Like you say, the Paytons and the Belichicks of the world, is like you said, they're misleading. And it for almost like a game plan type of thing.
Which
this
is
just fucking,
this is blatant lie.
This is just how y'all are stupid here.
Yeah. And
this.
And that's the problem I have this franchise, Ross. And like we can talk about the biggest disappointments and things like that. I think overall, game day experiences, lack of communication, and then also the bad play, everyone's fed up. Like there are people like another tank. Like, this isn't fun, man.
Tanking for what?
We're gonna tank for another. I mean, Ross talked about this. And I'm gonna let Ross go here, but we're 1-10, Steven. Like, what other options do we have?
For what?
Top five pick. I mean, I haven't looked at the college draft. There's players. I mean,
there are players. Yes, there are.
I was going to ask you if you don't have a favorite college team, you might want to get one for this year. We're going to be paying. We're going to be paying real close attention.
Overall, go ahead.
No, you go.
Overall thoughts on Willie Green, because I love him.
It's way too early to tell. I'm not saying anything right now.
He's played 0 games with Zion and like 5 games with BI. It doesn't matter.
You don't care.
I mean, it's not like
what do you say?
What are we supposed to say?
No,
he doesn't have his rotations in order.
I'm trying to be somewhat positive, but this isn't like a positive.
He cut a guy's knees off from under him. I mean, if you want to just look at the number, right? I mean, we're third. We're third to last in offensive rating. We're second to last in defensive rating. I mean,
Zion BI helped that. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what do you? I mean, you just can't even judge a guy.
We don't have a point guard.
No, I don't know. We really don't even have.
We don't have a point guard.
We've got like
we really don't.
We've got two like fringe. No, actually, Nala is not. I don't think he's a starter. He's ready to be a star. And
he's got to be benched.
Even Graham is barely even a starter. I think he's got qualities that are good when our whole team is healthy. But he didn't start for Charlotte last year. It's not like Charlotte was a world beater. So yeah, I mean, we said that all offseason when we needed a guard. We were 1-10. The Rockets are 1-9. Pistons are 1-8.
We're the worst team in the league.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Should let me ask you about this?
Sure.
Should fans start Stephen first? Is it fair to be upset right now?
Yeah.
Without Zion and BI, is it fair to be upset about the losing?
It's the culmination of everything. It's everything that's been happening over the past 3 years. It's the off season. It's everything. Of course, you're allowed to be upset. We haven't been steered in the right direction in 6 years.
Like, how could somebody make an argument for not being upset?
There are some people saying, like, well, why would you expect to win with BI and Zion out?
Because
I don't.
We're not gonna. No.
That's why I'm upset.
We should at least win more than one.
No, we haven't. We've won 0 without BI and Zion. 0.
So right, but so Brandon Ingram was in on the win. That's right. Yeah,
against Minnesota. So like that's why like there's this huge thing going on Twitter right now, Steven. Like, why would you expect this team to win? Well, if you have Non Jackson or these you're playing with 4 first-round picks, by the way.
We have a roster full of NBA players.
No,
fuck that stupid argument. That's so. Oh God, that makes me so mad. How? Why? Well, I can't even use words.
Even understanding that you don't expect it like that, like the fact that you're going into the game or season or whatever, not expecting to win is the disappointment. Like it's a weird worded like.
That's the question circulating.
Like, are you excited? Are you happy?
Well, people are saying you should.
If you're not happy, then what are you?
Well, there's a lot of people saying that you shouldn't be expecting to win without BI and Zion. That's fair, but you shouldn't.
That's fine. You shouldn't be. You should. I agree with that. What's next?
But like, I can still be upset about like losing. I can be pissed off about that.
So if Zion and BI were out for the whole year and we went 1-81, would you not be upset?
I guess not. No.
That's what I'm saying.
It's,
like, it's just such a ridiculous, like, yeah, you can, just because you're not expecting to win.
That's
like,
bananas.
it's still your hometown NBA franchise.
I mean, regardless of a hometown, I mean, even just like outsiders looking in, don't you start to feel bad for us? Yeah, like all of these other times, like, oh, here comes New Orleans. There's a win.
Do you think, another question, do you think Ja Morant over Zion right now?
100%. How can you?
No.
I mean, no.
No, I don't. No. And I'm as disappointed with Zion as everyone. How I just don't. That's too much prisoner of the moment for me to say that.
That's fair.
Zion just had like arguably like one of the greatest seasons in NBA history. Certainly when you consider age.
I mean, a lot of people are.
I just don't. I mean, if you want to factor in there's and you have to factor in the other stuff, but like if Zion comes back at the All-Star break and is healthy for the next 3 years, then nobody's gonna be like, should have taken Ja.
Look at this.
I just don't think you can do that. You can't do that yet.
In the position that we're in right now, I mean, we're kind of we have this plethora of guards. As I said, no point guard. Right now, with this lineup, I would 100% take Ja Morant over Zion right now. Right now, on today,
damn, you're getting off BI and you're taking Ja.
Let the hate come. Let the hate come. Because look, something has to change. I'm not sitting around. We've been a fan of this organization for how long? We get a couple people. We don't know how to manage our stars. I mean, we had the whole offseason with Zion saying that, he's not happy with how things went down the line. Everything that's happening up to this point has been shit. Yes, cool. He came out and averaged 26 and 8, whatever it was last year. It's like.
Yeah, but what did Ja do?
Ja led his team to the playoffs.
He got to the playoffs.
Have they played a playoff series? They just got to the game.
I don't care. I mean, they were in the playoffs last year.
To the playoffs. You think Zion comes back? All right, Zion comes back tomorrow. You think we even sniff the playoffs?
I don't.
You do. You got to stop this.
4 games.
You have to
stop
this.
4 games out of the 10 seed.
You have to stop this.
What do you mean have to stop?
Like Steven,
you just said the playoffs. That's the 10 seed. What do you talk? If he came back today, is he coming back today? No, he's not. He's coming back in 3 weeks, and we're going to be
even
2-17. Oh, I know. No, right. You said today. I'm answering the question.
We're already starting
to
the 9 game.
Wait. Back to your original point. Here's the biggest difference for me is there are other Ja Morants in the league. There's not another Zion in the league.
That's a fair point.
And so even if you think Zion is a worthless piece of shit,
but that's not the question.
Hang on. Zion coming back and playing well for one season instantly vaults him to like top 2 or 3 trade value in the league type players, because you've got to factor in all the market. You got to factor in all kind of other stuff.
Sure.
Ja will never, ever have that type of value.
I'm not
ever
worried about the marketability of a player right now. Like, I mean, if you're going to throw that in, it goes
into value. It all goes into value, right? And if Zion isn't here long term, right. So you're either looking at play or you're looking at trade value. There's really no other way to value someone like that.
So when we look at play, let's keep that in mind.
Zion was much better than Ja last
but
year.
He has to play.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, if he's like hurt all the time. My point is, it's just I can't make that determination today.
Okay.
If someone, I mean, you certainly can make the argument, I guess, if you wanted to. I don't like.
Yeah.
If Ja had just led his team like to the 3 seed or something and won a playoff series, okay, fuck, man.
But then we look at the same thing. Who does Ja have to work with in Memphis?
He's got Dylan Brooks. He's got
Dylan Valanciunas last year.
No, who's the big?
Steven Adams.
No.
Wow. Yeah.
Who's the other one?
Jaren Jackson.
Thank you.
Okay,
Jaren Jackson.
He was also hurt at the end of the year and lost out on that playoff run that they were in.
Yeah.
I think Ja Morant has done a lot. I don't think he has as good. I think their roster is on par with ours.
I agree.
I don't see that. But look what Ja Morant is doing. And I mean, Zion came in and we won a couple games. But also, I mean, we didn't make the playoffs.
I hear what you're saying. I think if you added up the last 2 seasons, that Memphis has been just a game or 2 ahead of us, if that. Like you're talking about a couple of more wins, and that's half of that's with Zion being hurt.
But that's also what I'm looking at. We don't have a point guard now. Like I'm saying, everying.
Let's got Kyle Anderson, good player.
Kyle Anderson.
He's actually
the slowest person in the league.
He's taking a step. I mean, it's a fair question. So this is what pisses me off is that you can
Kyle Anderson.
I
You
don't
just
know.
dropped
Slow-mo,
Kyle
baby.
Anderson.
Pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what to say anymore.
Can I say
He's
something?
good at looking like he's running in slow motion.
Can I go? I'm gonna go to the edge of the cliff here. Yeah, you ready? I think 11 games into the year.
If you say, I'm gonna flip the table.
Can't flip this table.
That we should make Dave. This needs to be
okay.
David Griffin sacrificial lamb year. Just totally tank our living faces off. Come back next year. David Griffin gone. He seems to be the source of a lot of the issues. David Griffin gone. Healthy Zion. JV locked in long term.
Healthy Zion.
That's not
Yeah, it is. Healthy Zion.
Fuck out of here.
JV back. Locked in. BI back. A top couple pick. Got a little money to spend. That's what I think.
Little money, Ross. We had money to spend.
Sacrifice.
Stop. Shut up.
Sacrifice David Griffin for the greater good this year.
Ross, we had money this year. Nobody wants to fucking come here.
I don't think we're going to have to sacrifice him.
But it's money. It's money. It could be money to take something on.
Grades right now are off the top of the bat. Steven, what would you give David Griffin year 3?
Yeah.
Overall,
I'm speaking for him.
A Z.
No, Ross. What would you give? Someone texted me. I won't mention. He said C- 2019. He said F 2020, and then he said A 2021.
He said an A.
2021.
Yeah, so everybody get together. No.
Everybody gives him a lot of credit for the kid getting off of Steven Adams and Bledsoe. Whatever. All right.
Oh, yippee! Yeah. You also signed him.
That's what I always say. It's
like you did it. You did it to yourself. Like, oh, look, it's the consequences of my actions. But it's look. Oh my God! This entire team is so frustrating. I want David Griffin gone. I'm saying it now, right now. Like,
you think
I'm trying to it.
If we honest question.
Who said an A?
Honest question.
Put together a team that can't win.
Matt
literally. Oh no, hey.
Honest question. If we're sitting here at 5-25, it's a long way to go to get to that. I don't think we'll be 5-25. I think if you're sitting here at 5-25 or 5-30, you think they let Griffin go right then and there?
I think Griffin's gone by All-Star break.
I do too.
You did call the stand.
Yeah,
you got the stand.
It's very odd.
Pretty right.
I think he is.
It's weird how we're always sometimes right about everything.
We're always sometimes right. 60% of the time, it works every time.
What's the deodorant he calls it? What's the
Blackbeard's Delight?
No, it's
Black Panther.
It's something on the Panther.
God damn it.
Odeon.
Black Panther.
That's it. I think that's it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Haven't seen Anchorman in a while. We got some fan questions. Got tweeted out some. We got 8 questions.
I like that not on Herb shirt. That's good.
Not on Herb. And no, this is not towards Herb Jones.
It's Herb.
So the H is silent.
It's Herb. In the herb.
Ross, Chris Young. Love Chris Young, by the way. Shout out Chris Young.
The singer or the pitcher?
The guy that follows us on Twitter. What is the issue with the bench? It seems like this year's the worst in a long time for drop off between rotations. And that is saying something because we haven't had a good bench in about a decade. So Ross, what's the issue with the bench? I mean, let me answer this question, then I'll get to you.
Wait.
The issue with the bench.
I want to say this. The issue with our bench is that our bench is on the court. They should be on the bench. That's the issue with our bench.
I'll read up it. They should be in They should be in Birmingham.
They should be.
Is what they should be.
Our bench is on the court. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't like. He kind of just said it. I was going to say like the biggest issue is probably just the players. I mean, no, it is. You said it. Like,
shit.
Ideally, if everyone was healthy, right? You've got Alexander Walker likely coming off the bench. Hart playing significantly less than he's playing.
Yeah,
those guys are fine as bench players.
Right.
Like it looks worse when they're starters. I mean, I like that's my and then it's just super young. We're not going to continue to do it, but we beat the dead horse on Nah. Herb Jones is hurt right now, but he's actually played halfway decent, and he was starting. Najee,
he's terrible.
And
I swear to God, if I hear you eating on the mic one more fucking time.
That's all. But going back, I didn't want to beat the dead horse on Kyra Lewis. Kyra Lewis and Trey Murphy are both. I mean, they're just not playing well. Kyra, I think, needs time in the G League. Trey Murphy needs like our whole team back before to be successful. That's my answer.
Giovanni Morvici at Don Morvici on Twitter.
Hey.
It's year 3, but yet still getting the same production out of non-Jackson. Do we ride it out with them this season, or do we continue to evaluate?
Can I take this one?
Yeah.
I can take this one.
We're really
do it
adamant
to
about this
Lars.
one.
He's got it.
I would love if we could probably go back a year, maybe even more. I've been saying if I need those guys to play well for 2 months so that they can be in every trade package.
Yes.
All of them.
Yeah.
Every trade package.
So I bring this up all the time. What would it take to get James Harden? Picks and players.
Yeah, we need those
right now
guys
we have
to-
no players.
Yeah, those guys have
Right.
to play well or they have no value.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the whole, it's like, I thought this could be the year where it's like, man, those guys are going to get a lot of burn. Hopefully they can really play well. You package them with some of these picks and maybe you go get that third player, that sandwich
Right.
player.
And right now the stocks are all down.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're all
Nobody's
playing
taking
like
them.
shit again. It's like those guys, I mean, they have to play well or they have no value. And I would move off of them 100% if we could. but
Yeah, we
can't.
messed up.
Yeah,
We talked about it like last year. We were like, oh no, I hope we don't trade Jackson. Like, he could be a piece maybe even later, or he's going to turn out to be something. I think we should have struck while it was hot.
Yeah, because you also just signed Valanciunas long term. Like
Well, that's in hindsight too. He wasn't here last year.
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm saying you just
time.
like that's
Yeah.
sort of an indictment of Jackson Hayes,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
you just gave Valanciunas whatever.
Well, I
$40
mean, the
million.
guy's almost a 20 and 20 guy. He's got some range.
No,
He's
I'm not. Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's no matter what, it's still an indictment on Jackson
Sure.
Hayes.
I
That
got
makes
you.
sense.
Before we get more into this podcast, he's been the lone bright spot this season, JV. Like he's like best around to be an all-star. I love him. I absolutely love him. So, I mean, that was, I love
is that another product of having to be though? Like, I guess
no,
he's
he's always been
really
pretty
well
solid.
last year. He
Yeah,
played
he's
really
always
well
been
last
solid.
year, yeah.
So,
okay. I was just
um,
afraid we were getting another Steven Adams again. I was just,
No,
I mean,
no,
the
he's-
whole
he's-
narrative was the same.
I
I know.
think so.
Just I'm talking about everything around
for
it,
sure.
like exactly the same.
For sure.
Yeah.
Love this guy. He's been following since like day one. But Bry Guy Fieri, just one question.
Great
What
name.
the fuck? I dropped like multiple F-bombs last night, Steven, on Twitter. It was great. I'm like, sometimes you just drop an F-bomb. Yes, it sucks, Bry. Bry Guy.
It's good.
It sucks.
It's good, man. It's a good word. It's a solid word.
It's just not fun right now. But yeah, moving on. We're making the playoffs.
Who?
Parentheses Saints at whatever ooh, I'm messing up here.
Kid can't read.
No, I can't. Whatever ride kid, bruh. How much do you think getting a top pick in the draft can help this team next year?
Again, who is that guy? In
I
college?
haven't-
You
I
can't do that though. I mean,
No.
the top pick in the draft is usually somebody good. I mean, you got to factor in if. It's
I mean,
the
let's
top
think
pick in the
about
draft.
last year. We
You
had
can't
Cade
just-
Cunningham and the guy Jeff Green.
Yeah.
After that, who?
It wasn't Jeff.
Jalen Green.
Jalen Green. Jeff Green. Who is Jeff?
Jeff Green was a
Jeff Green is still in the NFL.
All
I mean,
right.
he's still in the NBA.
Still messing up names. DeJounte Moore.
Jeff Green. No, I'm thinking about a different. Who is Jeff Green?
Jeff Green is a name I know for some reason.
Jeff Green, not the basketball player, played like the Celtics. Played for all
Yeah,
those
that
guys.
is Jeff Green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's Jeff
okay.
Green.
It was okay. I was on the right.
I think he's on the
sport at
Clippers
least.
right now.
Oh shit!
He's still in the league. Yeah,
He's
he's on the
definitely
Clippers.
still in it.
Ross, how much? So you kind of hit this. Why don't you take it home?
What was it? What was the
How much
question?
do you think getting a top pick in the draft can help this team next year?
I think a lot. Like, what else do you have to look forward to right now? I think it helps a lot.
But
I really do, because if you go get a Cade Cunningham or somebody like that, I mean, Cade Cunningham was playing awful, by the way, but
He just started playing.
he just started playing 2 games ago and he hadn't looked good. But I mean, he's going to be fine. Yeah, look, I mean, the top pick in the draft pretty much always helps. Like, right? I mean, would you like to have
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball here? Yeah, I'd like to have him. I mean, I'd take Anthony Edwards.
Definitely take.
I'd
that.
take Cade Cunningham. I mean, the top pick like always matters. Except for the rare example
do you
of where it's like
think-
a bust.
I mean, of course, it will help the team. But do you think
The number one pick in the draft always has crazy
Yeah.
value too as a trade piece. I mean, yeah, that's a yes. The answer
Okay.
to the question is it helps a lot.
A resounding yes.
Will Wade's bag man? Once again, LSU starting tonight at Will Wade's bag man. Is it time to have those talks with non-Jackson? Do you think there's still time for them to turn it around? I'll answer it. Jackson. I'm really low on Jax. I don't know. Like, is this to say that he won't have a career? Like, maybe he turns into, I think JaVale McGee's a great example. He kind of flopped in Denver and like just made himself like a great career out of it.
He didn't really flop per se. That's
He wasn't
say.
great. He wasn't great.
But he's still not great.
He's a good player. Like he's a
Right.
valuable.
He's a hustle.
He's a
18,
valuable
18,
basketball
Words,
player.
words mean things.
No, he's
Good
a
and great
valuable
are different.
basketball player.
Yeah.
So like it's to say like Jackson won't be anything. I can't answer that. Naw scares me the most. I just when I see Nickeil Alexander-Walker play, right? You have all the talent. He's got all the tools and stuff. The IQ really scares me. Like you got to be able to have a high IQ to play in this league. Like you do. And his shot selection is the Achilles heel. It can get better. No question about it. It can get better. but it hasn't, and it hasn't gotten better at all.
I mean, he's a bench guard for me.
Yeah,
he's a
role player.
He's a backup guard for me. I mean, a potentially good backup guard. But I'll go back to the same thing. I mean, I think if you're expecting Naw to come out and get you 22 tonight, like this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of really bad shots.
We're not winning a daytime Emmy for best ensemble. All right, just say that. The supporting actors are not there.
I'm just low on both of them, man. Like it sucks.
You can throw Kyra in there too.
Yeah, year 3 was. Listen, man. Year 3 was supposed to be a jump. They've taken a step back. It's not like they've even been neutral. They've taken a step back.
You've also had 3 coaches in 3 years.
Steven, you're playing fucking basketball, dude.
It does matter.
You're playing basketball.
It does. It still matters. Rotation. You don't get. You switch up rotation. You don't get the same.
He's starting and fucking playing 36 minutes a night. Okay, he's inefficient as shit.
Don't dismiss it like it doesn't mean anything.
All right, whatever.
You just did it again.
Did dismiss you. Sorry.
You literally waved your hand.
I did. One of our newest followers, I like this guy a lot. Zach Wallach at The Real Zach Wallach. We touched on this a little bit, Ross.
Does that imply a fake Zach Wallach?
What does that mean? Oh no, like they have like on Twitter like the real Stan Van Gundy.
It's a bad joke.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What stadium? I'm glad he actually is a really intelligent question. What stadium benefits and perks do you want to see as a season ticket holder? Likely on their last year, they've stripped virtually every benefit, minus 1 concession gift card.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't even get like chicken strips on the top.
I don't know. I can't say anything. I've had a weird start to the season. I haven't been able to go to a game.
Zach, there are no perks. There are no perks. I don't I have a cool parking pass, but
do they still have the Capital One thing?
Yeah, but that's only for select few. I mean, like that's
you got to get that wristband.
Like I think they still have the club section up there in the lower bowl, but once again, the in-game experience isn't that fun, and the perks aren't great. Like, why? To Zach's point,
they got to turn that thing into a fucking party.
It's got to be a damn party.
I'm not a marketing professional. I don't know how you do it, but you've got to turn that thing into just a party.
I told him, give me the aux cord. Let it roll, brother.
Hire me, Pelicans. I'll get the place jump.
I feel like yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna
at Zion's Door Dasher.
That's a good handle. That's a really nice handle.
He's making a lot of money.
Who do you guys think should we trade away before the deadline, and why is it Josh Hart? Can we realistically get a decent return for him? Maybe a player who can contribute now off the bench as an instant offense.
You're not getting anything but a draft pick for him at this point, huh?
Well, you get a player too.
I mean, who? And no one
for Josh Hart.
No, you're just going to get draft picks.
Salary relief, a second round pick.
Got Wes Windu and Joe Johnson for JJ Redick. Those are players in the second round.
Yeah, but you're also looking right. Well, you need
those guys are. What did you say? Those guys are barely players.
Right.
I don't know that either of those guys is in the league right now. Wes Windu or James Johnson.
James is. I don't know about Wes.
James still baiting people up.
I love James. Yeah, black belt.
He's like a black belt in a couple different things. He could legitimately rip your face off.
I'm glad we're talking about this because I do want to talk about.
Look at the roster; it's just not that good. Right
no, we're not good. And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
That would be the guy who signed the players.
Who is that?
Talent evaluation.
David Griffin.
Yes. Oh, I mean, we need
year 3, man.
I thought we knew that.
It's year 3, and we've gotten worse. We have not gotten better. He sabotaged the bubble year 1. He hired Van Gundy, signed Adams, traded for Bledsoe.
Got to give Bill Hernangomez a little more minutes.
And dude, what's that going to
not play?
I'm joking.
I mean, at least
what's
the worst that could happen?
Fuck. By the way, thanks for all the questions, guys.
Did the coach not send a question? I feel like that guy always hooks up with a question.
Coach? Nah,
Willie Green?
No.
Willie, want to send a question in?
Yeah, Coach Willie.
I
still like
Coach
Willie
Jerry
for the record. I still like the Willie hire.
So do I.
I think there's potential for him to be good down the road. He guy just literally got his legs cut out from under him.
Yeah. Coach Jerry from Lakewood, by the way.
Yeah. So no. He rolled up on a dumpster fire.
So some people have been like, well, he had a great 2021 offseason. And I think that this was finally the first offseason where he actually incorporated the front office. And then you started seeing some decent moves. Jonas Valanciunas, Willie Green, Devontae Graham.
The thing about an offseason is it's not the season.
It's not the season.
It's not the season.
Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? Give a shit.
Final
Put
thoughts.
Up or shut up.
Final thoughts. I'm excited to hear y'all's thoughts on this. I've heard Ross's, so I'll start with Steven. What are your thoughts on Jokic last night? what he did.
Look. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I can't stand the Morris brothers.
No, you're definitely not wrong.
You're definitely not wrong.
So I understand what he did was wrong, but also at the same time, I'm pat him on the butt and thank him and good job, Jokic. And let's move on here.
I think there's a lot of guys in the NBA that are very happy at what happened, because here's what's happened with what they've done with the NBA rules is they have not necessarily over penalized the initial action, right? The hard foul, that kind of thing. They come down hard on the guy after, right? And so these guys are able to do the Patrick Beverleys, the Morris brothers. These guys are able to play obnoxiously aggressive, do dirty shit all throughout the game, all throughout the season. It builds up, because they know nobody's going to come just smoke you in the face anymore. Well, guess what? What happened? You poked the wrong bear last night, and you got thrown on the fucking ground after throwing what I thought was a dirty foul. There's a million ways to make that foul that don't involve you throwing your shoulder and elbow into a guy's fucking exposed rib cage.
You basically hip checked him.
That. I got no issue with that. None.
Yeah, and then also reported that the Jokic brothers have a burner account.
Did you see this?
And they've called out the Morris brothers
coming at him, and I can't wait. These Eastern Bloc motherfuckers.
Could you imagine?
Did you see that video from? Everybody saw the video from last year when the dudes were trying to get on the court.
Yeah,
terrifying. I was in another state and I was scared.
Yeah, you not want to mess around with those guys. But yeah, I agree. I think the open court stuff, that was a dirty play last night, and I first looked at it, I was like, I don't see it. But then getting under the ribs, and he's in full speed. It was just wrap him up. Just hit him, just swipe at him. And the worst part is it's a 16-point game. It's not even just let him go even.
And it's not like he's about to make a layup. He's on the other side of half court, man. Just wrap him up.
And it's just you're not a tough guy if you take cheap shots. You're a douchebag.
The problem with that is the only issue that I have. Well, I don't have the issue, but it's hard to defend him is because he turned his back. That's it. I don't care.
What's he supposed to do? Spin him around and then push him? Who gives a shit? Don't throw a
that's where the cheap
shot and then don't throw a cheap shot and then he instantly turns around, starts walking away like he didn't do it. Man, you knew you cheap shotted the fuck out of him.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you, bud. But I'm just saying the other people are going to say that's he had his back turned.
It's like sneaking a dude in a bar and then immediately turning your back like I don't do anything. Somebody's going to break a bottle over your head, pal. I don't know. I got no issue with it.
No issue. Yeah, I like the response. I thought he's gonna get heavy suspension.
Oh yeah.
I think they brought the stretcher out. Did you know this?
No.
That's why I thought I was like, holy shit! They brought the stretcher out for Markieff Morris.
Markieff Morris, such a tough guy. Yeah, got the stretcher called out for him.
While we're talking about tough guys, I have to say this. I thought the Heat's reaction to that
they wait for
chicken shit. There was 5 guys. Jimmy Butler's on the court. Don't wait for him to go sit. And I like Jimmy Butler. Don't wait for him to go sit down on the bench and then do the whole hold me back thing as I'm trying to get over there or meet me behind the tunnel. You were on the floor when he pushed him.
Yeah, where were there?
You were on the floor. If you want to go take your shot, go take it.
There's a really cool picture of them waiting outside the locker room hallway though. Yeah, pretty dope.
Really
cool. Go take your shot.
I would love to frame that.
Bam Adebayo, you're right there. Somebody take your shot. Don't be. I got no respect for the I know we're not going to do anything tough guy move. Get the fuck out of here.
Off the initial reaction, what do y'all keep talking? Because I'm trying to search it. I kind of want to actually bring it up real quick. I do. It's and this is terrible for the podcast, but I do want to watch.
Good listening.
I want to watch because
Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant.
You bring up a good point, Ross, because
here it is.
So he gets hit. Now watch. Nobody.
So Morris banging.
Hero.
Tyler Hero.
He wants none.
Tyler
Lowry wants none. Now Lowry's the front of the line on the stupid ass picture.
And right in the back, down goes Morris.
Oh, Bam got in there.
Bam is in there.
They got between him. He didn't do anything.
They didn't do much.
Nobody
Everybody's pulling away.
So Jimmy's not there though.
Yeah,
Jimmy's on the
right
court.
there.
Where?
That's
right.
Kyle
You got your. No, it isn't.
This is Kyle Lowry.
That's Kyle Lowry.
Number 7.
That's
Kyle.
Go back. What? I'll show you exactly what Jimmy Butler's coming around the other side. Jimmy Butler is on the floor. That's Jimmy Butler running. You'll pick him up.
Oof. Banging.
That's Lowry with the ball. Look, that right there. All right, see the top of the screen right there?
Jokic first.
This is terrible.
Look at this.
See, Butler's chasing down the court. Watch. Right about when he hits him, Butler's at midcourt.
What do you think Tyler Hero is doing right here?
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, Butler's on the court. Watch, I'm telling you. Go back one more time.
Jokic starts
Look,
talking.
see it midcourt right there. See the guy
Oh, that
coming in?
is Jimmy.
He's
huh?
looking right at it. Like, don't be a bit. Like, you want to fight?
Oh wait, he didn't actually see it. He didn't see it until well, here he comes. He's in there.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Kinda
but then after the fact, he throws the big fit, like, hold me back, like, meet me out in the tunnel thing. Like, dog, he's right the fuck there. Like, you're 4 feet away from him. You want to take your shot? Take it.
I kind of like it in the sense of the team going back for him.
No, I'm with you on that. I just hate, I get so
the tough guy.
Everybody's like, oh man, he didn't want any part of Butler. Like, Butler,
no.
like,
I'm
hit
taking
him.
Jokic over Butler.
Like, hit him if you wanted to fight him. Like, he's right
Jokic.
Jokic.
All right, so we're gonna start trying. I know we're 1-10, but we're gonna try to start getting a little schedule here. Try to do every Sunday night for these pods, but not much really to talk about. They're on what are they on? 6-game losing streak right now. They're gonna play the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow at Smoothie King Center. Then they get the Brooklyn Nets and the Memphis Grizzlies over the weekend. Ross Thibodeau, Stephen Offner, and Justin Napoli. And once again, follow us on Pro Pels Talk on Twitter or Instagram. Go Pels. We got awesome merch, by the way. Not on Herb.
Not
Pels 12 versus the world.
This is an old shirt.
Boot Crew Media. Shout out. Talk to y'all later.
You're a new one.